What if I told you that changing your oil exactly when the owner's manual tells you to is one of the most common reasons engines fail early? Not because drivers are careless, not because they skipped maintenance, but because the advice itself was never designed for real-world driving. This is why engines that should last 300,000 miles start burning oil, stretching timing chains, or losing compression right after 100,000 to 120,000 miles. Not because owners ignored service, but because they followed the rules perfectly. Some people are told to change oil at 5,000 miles. Others are told 15,000 miles is perfectly safe. Both groups are confident. Both follow the rules. And both are often wrong. By the end of this video, you'll understand why two completely opposite oil change numbers exist, who actually benefits from each one, and the oil change strategy professional mechanics quietly use on their own cars, not the cars under warranty, the cars they want to keep forever. Stay until the end, because the smartest oil change rule you'll hear today isn't written in any manual. Section 1. The oil change war. Ask 10 drivers how often oil should be changed and you'll hear two loud camps. Camp 1 says, change it every 5,000 miles or your engine will die. Camp 2 says, modern engines can go 15,000 miles. Anything less is a scam. Both sides sound logical. Both sides sound confident. And both sides are incomplete. Here's the first red flag most people ignore. If oil change intervals were purely mechanical, they wouldn't change depending on where the car is sold. But they do. Section 2. Same engine, different countries. Let's look at a real example. Take a Toyota Camry 2.5-liter engine, or a Honda 2.0-liter naturally aspirated engine. Same factory, same tolerances, same oil specification. In the United States, the recommended oil change interval is 5,000 to 7,500 miles. In Europe, that same engine is approved for 15,000 miles or 1 year. Nothing about the engine changed. So ask yourself, is European oil magical? Are American engines weaker? No. The answer has almost nothing to do with oil quality, and everything to do with how oil change rules are written. Section 3. Why America got 5,000 miles. The 5,000-mile oil change didn't come from engineers. It came from quick lube businesses, dealership service departments, habits left over from the 1970s and 1980s. Back then, engines ran rich. Oil broke down quickly. Tolerances were loose. 3,000 to 5,000 miles actually made sense. But technology changed. Oil chemistry improved. Tolerances tightened. Engines got cleaner. The interval didn't evolve at the same pace. And one phrase locked it in permanently. Oil is cheap. Engines are expensive. That line is technically true. But it's also perfect fear-based marketing. It trains drivers to fear going too long, ignore driving conditions, never question the interval, and dealerships love it. Why? Because oil changes are loss leaders. They get you in the door. Once you're there, inspections begin. Recommendations follow. Repairs get approved. This doesn't mean mechanics are dishonest. It means the system benefits from caution. Section 4. Why Europe pushes 15,000 miles. Now let's flip the coin. Europe didn't choose long oil intervals out of generosity. They chose them because of regulation. European manufacturers face strict environmental laws, used oil disposal limits, fleet emissions targets tied to ownership costs, longer intervals, reduce waste oil, lower ownership cost on paper, improve environmental metrics. But here's the detail most people miss. European oil change intervals are written for ideal driving conditions. That means long highway trips, fewer cold starts, minimal idling, larger oil capacities, strict oil specifications. In other words, Europe assumes you drive the way an engineer designed the car, not the way real life actually works. And that's the key problem. Section 5. Perfect conditions don't exist. Let's be honest. Most drivers, Take short trips, sit in traffic, drive in extreme heat or cold. Shut the engine off before oil fully warms. That's a worst-case scenario for long oil intervals. Because oil does not fail from mileage alone. Oil fails from conditions. And none of those conditions show up on your odometer. Section 6. What actually kills oil, not miles. Here's what destroys oil faster than distance. Short trips. Oil never reaches full temperature. Moisture stays trapped. Direct injection engines. Fuel washes past piston rings. Oil thins out. Turbochargers. Oil cooks at extreme heat. Additives break down. Idling and stop-and-go traffic. High heat, low airflow. Oxidation accelerates. Small oil capacities. Less oil means faster contamination. Here's the reality most drivers never hear. A turbo GDI car doing 7 to 8 mile trips can destroy oil in under 4,000 miles, even while the dashboard still shows 60% oil life remaining. That's why for some cars, 15,000 miles isn't optimistic. It's reckless. Section 7. Why oil life monitors can't save you. Modern cars have oil life monitors. They look smart. They feel precise. But here's the truth. Oil life monitors estimate oil degradation. They do not measure oil condition. They track RPM, temperature load, runtime. They cannot detect fuel dilution, moisture contamination, additive collapse. Engineers design oil life monitors for averages. Oil analysis exposes outliers. That's why labs routinely find oil at 40% life remaining that is already chemically exhausted. Oil monitors are tools, not authority figures. Section 8. What oil analysis really shows. Independent labs have tested tens of thousands of samples. And the results are consistent. Some oils are still healthy at 5,000 miles. Some oils are dangerously degraded by 7,000 or 8,000 miles. A small number survive 15,000 miles, under nearly perfect conditions. Mileage alone tells you almost nothing. Which brings us to the uncomfortable middle ground. Section 9. Why both sides are wrong. Here's the truth nobody wants to admit. 5,000 miles is often unnecessarily early. 15,000 miles is often dangerously late. Both numbers are simplifications, not strategies. Engines don't fail from averages. They fail from mismatches between oil chemistry and driving reality, between regulations and real-world use. So what's the correct answer? That's where the mechanic mindset enters. Section 10. What mechanics do on their own cars. Here's a question most people never ask. How often do mechanics change oil in their own vehicles? Not customer cars. Not warranty cars. Their personal cars. The answer is almost never 5,000 miles. And it's almost never 15,000 miles. Most experienced mechanics quietly land in the middle, 7,000 to 8,500 miles, adjusted for conditions. Why? Because mechanics don't follow numbers. They follow risk management. Section 11. When 5,000 miles makes sense, let's be fair. There are situations where 5,000 miles is absolutely the right call. If your vehicle has turbocharging, direct injection, short daily trips under 10 miles, heavy city driving, high ambient temperatures, oil capacity under 5 quarts. In these engines, fuel dilution happens quickly. Additives deplete early. Oil degrades for real reasons. That's why taxis, police vehicles, and fleet cars still use short intervals, even with synthetic oil. Section 12. When 15,000 miles can work. Yes, sometimes it does. But the conditions must be nearly perfect. Mostly highway driving, trips over 30 minutes, naturally aspirated engine, large oil capacity, premium, full synthetic oil, minimal idling. In that environment, oil reaches full temperature, moisture burns off, oxidation stays low. That's why long intervals work in parts of Europe. The moment you break these conditions, the 15,000-mile rule collapses. Most drivers do, without realizing it. Section 13. Why black oil isn't the enemy. Many drivers panic when oil turns black. They assume it's dirty. They assume it's failing. That's wrong. Dark oil often means detergents are working. What actually matters? Viscosity stability, fuel dilution percentage, additive reserve. Color is a visual trick, not a diagnostic tool. Section 14. The single rule that beats all numbers. Here's the rule. Mechanics trust more than any sticker or app. Change oil based on how you drive, not how far you drive. Ask yourself, do I idle a lot? Do I drive short trips? Does my engine run hot? Is it turbocharged? Is oil capacity small? The more yes answers you have, the shorter your interval should be. Mileage is just a timer. Conditions are the real clock. Section 15. Why manufacturers can't explain this. So why don't owners' manuals say this clearly? Because they can't. Manuals must be simple, cover global markets, protect warranty liability, satisfy regulations. They are written for legal clarity, not mechanical optimization. As one OEM engineer admitted privately, we give a safe average. The rest is up to the owner. Section 16. The smart real-world strategy. Here's what professionals actually follow. Turbo, GDI engines, 5,000, 7,000 miles. Modern naturally aspirated engines, 7,000, 8,500 miles. Highway heavy ideal use, up to 10,000 miles with oil analysis. Never blindly push 15,000 without data. That's not fear-based. That's data-based. Final close. Identity lock. The real enemy isn't 5,000 miles. And it isn't 15,000 miles. The enemy is blind adherence. The smartest drivers don't ask, how often should I change oil? They ask, what does my engine actually need? That mindset alone keeps engines alive longer than any sticker ever could. So tell me in the comments, how often do you change your oil? And what kind of driving do you really do? Because your answer might explain why some engines reach 300,000 miles, and others don't make it past 120,000. If you'd rather think like a mechanic than follow stickers blindly, this channel is for you.